Son of a Japanese billionaire. Ask me anything. I'm the son of a Japanese billionaire. I won't go into specifics of my father's work and exact net worth, but anything else should be okay. Ask me anything. Hi. Please subscribe to my channel and help me grow. You've got nothing to lose and you're here anyway. You'll be helping a fellow human out. I upload every day. Has your dad ever been contacted by yakuza, a secret society, or the government to make some kind of deal, recruitment? Is he part of a traditional Japanese conglomerate, those merchant families, I forgot the name, or newly rich? It wouldn't surprise me. Secret society, no. Government, he has met with some PMs of a couple of countries. He is newly rich. Can I be your charity case? But also, what's the most extra thing you have done that only someone who is a billionaire would be able to do? I once spent $200,000 in Vegas with 3 friends. I felt bad about it. I guess on the good side, I have donated to charity a lot over the years. So your whole life have you been able to spend whatever you like without your parents giving a shit? In theory, if I need something I could ask and get it, but my father doesn't like displaying our wealth unnecessarily. For example, when I was in the Japanese high school, I spent about $20,000 on video games and got into a lot of trouble. But when I gave $10,000 to a classmate who lost everything after the tsunami, my father didn't mind. That honestly must be so fucking handy having so much money that most people can't fathom. You're a lucky dude. Cool to see that you donate to charity and help out friends, etc. Thanks for your answers. No problem. Yes, I'm very lucky, and never forget that. One drawback for me is that I find it hard to make friends, because I never know if people actually like me or just want to try and get close to my father's wealth. I can imagine jealousy from people who find out is a problem too. Do you encounter people who are condescending towards you because you have money and they don't? That can be a problem, more so in the West than back in Japan. On the one hand, I can understand it. On the other, it's not like I chose this lifestyle, I just happened to be born into it. I remember one time at a restaurant I said to a waitress, the faster our table's food comes the bigger tip I will give, since that way we get to eat quickly. So the food came and I said to her, how much tip do you want? She said $500. So I gave it to her, then she got angry at me and said she should have asked for more. Did you like studying in America? What was your favorite things to do here? It was good. I like not having the constant social cultural pressures from Japan. Also, the food portions are so big. I'm sure a lot of things are easier for you compared to others because of your wealth, but have you ever been in a difficult situation because of money? Like having fake friends or obligated to play a role because of your father's reputation? There have been a few. One example, basically being obligated to study certain subjects and do certain internships because my father expects me to run the business in the future. Hearing people at university struggling financially, talking about struggling to pay rent of say £500 a month. This was hard, simply, because I can't understand what that is like. I wanted to help, but then by doing so, it makes it more likely people will find out about the wealth situation, etc. Do you want to run the business? Yes, it was just somewhat frustrating to not be able to follow what I was really interested in when I was younger. But in Japanese there is a phrase, it means something like, it can't be helped, which is what my father would say to me. Despite that, he still encourages me to pursue my hobbies and the like, but with the knowledge that eventually I'll be in charge of the business. Was there a moment that made you realize that your family was wealthier than others? I think, when I applied to go to university, I was looking for student apartments to rent. My father then really casually said he had bought me a 6-bedroom house to stay at for the term while I get settled, then if I don't like it, he will sell it and I can move in with roommates. Growing up I never really noticed it because I went to a high school where being wealthy was normal, so it was never really discussed. Why a 6-bedroom house for one person? I'd like to know your father's reasoning there. For if we wanted other people around, family to visit, also if I didn't want the house we would just sell it anyway. Do your friends know? How do you manage your relationships? I have some very close Japanese friends that know, and my girlfriend knows. Other than that, people don't generally know. I mean, I don't go around wearing designer clothing and things and try to stand out, but it will sometimes become apparent my family is wealthy if a conversion is about favorite vacations, for example. As for managing relationships, I tend to categorize it into whether it is a business relationship, friendship, personal, etc. Friends, as I've mentioned earlier, I only have a close couple of friends, and am generally regarded by strangers as shy, so it isn't too much of an issue. But sometimes it upsets me that I find it hard to talk to people in case they only want to be friends with me for money when, if they find out. What are some of the biggest culture shocks in the US and UK compared to Japan? People jaywalking, you have cleaners in schools, we just clean it ourselves, how big the portion sizes are for food, how unreliable the public transport is, punctuality not being a big deal. But US, UK, I prefer the social freedom it provides. What type of social freedom does the West allow that is not allowed in Japan? It's more in Japan you can't really stick out. Everybody conforms to the same rules, and there are lots of small cultural issues which you don't have to worry about in the West. What is the most expensive thing you've bought, and why? Also, what do you do in your spare time? Cool armor, by the way. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say I bought this as it was my family's money. But for graduation, I bought a vacation home that I took my best friends to for a graduation celebration. Bro, tell me honestly, how much sex do you have? I mean, you must be having a lot of girlfriends. When I was younger, yes, but I've been in a long-term relationship for the past 3 years. What makes you invest in a business? If the idea seems well thought out, likely to succeed based on various factors. Most importantly is whether the person seems trustworthy and has the fortitude to not give up when things are tough. Starting a business is not easy. What do you usually spend a lot of money on? Like, for entertainment? And what's the most expensive item you own? Do you ever feel guilty over how your father earned his money? Why and why not? I mean, on the one hand, sometimes, since others have nothing. On the other, no, since we live in a capitalist society and ultimately, he has just taken advantage of that. I try and give back when I can to charities and things to somewhat make amends for the income inequality. Any advice on how to make money? If you had to start from scratch, what would be your game plan? Be to make it big. If you had to start from scratch, would you want to make it big? Find what you like and think how you can turn that into a product, service that many will want. My game plan would be point number 1, to always be respectful to people, as you never know who someone is and whether they will be able to help you in the future. I would want to make it big, to be able to use the proceeds to help others in the future. Do you have any plans on your life that depend on his money? Like a big wedding, an expensive college, etc. Paying for my child's college education eventually. I expect the wedding will probably be quite expensive, but other than that, most of the money will probably be retained in the business, help to grow other businesses. I also want to set up a scholarship fund one day. Are there really secret clubs for the ultra wealthy like Roppongi Club from the Speed Grapher anime? Well, there are like meetups with other very wealthy people, but I'd imagine it's similar to any other social things. A lot of these meetups with the very wealthy are boring, they just want to talk business and politics. You get bored of rich life sometimes. Sometimes I wish I could experience what it's like to not have the wealth my family has. Hi, please subscribe to my channel and help me grow. You've got nothing to lose and you're here anyway. You'll be helping a fellow human out. I upload every day.